The maximum retail price MRP of a product is 55% above its manufacturing cost. The product is sold through a retailer who earns 23% profit on his purchase price. What is the profit percentage expressed in nearest integer for the manufacturer who sells his product to the retailer? The retailer gives 10% discount on MRP. Right? So the question clearly is on profit and loss, on the concept of profit and loss and discount, of course, where it says that the MRP of a product is 55% above its manufacturing cost, right? The maximum retail price MRP of a product is 55% above its manufacturing cost. Now this product is sold through a retailer, right? This product is not sold directly by the manufacturer. It is sold through a retailer. So which means from the hands of the manufacturer, the product goes to the retailer, and from the retailer, the product goes to the customer, right? It moves through these hands, right? So the product is sold through a retailer who earns 23% profit on his purchase price. So the retailer is making a 23% profit on his purchase price. So when the retailer sells it to customer, he is making how much profit? 23% profit on his own purchase price. Now purchase price here is nothing but the cost price. Whatever is the cost price for the retailer, on that he is making 23% profit. Now what is the profit percentage expressed in nearest integer for the manufacturer? So what is the profit percentage for the manufacturer, right? In the nearest integer form, right? Who sells this product to the retailer? So for the manufacturer, how much is the profit percentage? The other point which has been given to us here is that the retailer gives 10% discount on MRP. The retailer also gives a 10% discount on the MRP, right? Remember, retailer can sell the product at a maximum value of the MRP only. He cannot sell for anything less than MRP. Right? I mean, he cannot sell for anything more than MRP, but he can give a discount. And here in this case, like he has mentioned, the discount given is 10%. So let's try it out now. Now there are two ways to do this. You can either play with some variables, I mean use variables and simplify to get the required answer, or just assume some values and accordingly do the calculations to arrive at the percentage. See, the advantage that we have here is the final answer required is in the percentage format: 31%, 22%, 15%, 13%, 11%, and so on. So when the final answer is required in terms of percentage, you can assume any initial value and use that to do the calculation. Whatever be the initial value, the final answer will come out to be the same in terms of percentage if the process has been followed properly. All right. So let's start working on it now. See, let us assume that the cost price for the manufacturer, is 100 rupees. That means the item has been manufactured, the article has been manufactured for 100 rupees. We know that the MRP is 55% above the manufacturing cost. So what will be the MRP? The MRP is going to be 100 plus 55%. It is 55% above the manufacturing cost. So 100 plus 55% of 100. What is 55% of 100? 55. So 100 plus 55 is 155. So the MRP of the product is 155. Now come to this last point. The retailer gives 10% discount on MRP. What is the discount given? 10%. 10% on MRP. So 10% of 155. 10% of 155 is 15.5 rupees. The retailer is giving this discount, 15.5 rupees. Which means, what is the selling price of the retailer? Selling price for the retailer is 155 minus 15.5. Which is what? 140 rupees approximately. 139.5, let's say, to be precise. 139.5. You're able to follow. The retailer has been told that maximum value for this product is 155. He decided to give a 10% discount, which is 15.5 rupees. 155 minus 15.5 comes out to be 139.5 rupees, which means the selling price for the retailer, as we have calculated, is 139.5. He's asking us to find out the profit percentage for the manufacturer. This is what we need to calculate. We also know that the retailer has made a profit of 23%. What is the cost price of the retailer? That's the question. Selling price of the retailer is known. Cost price of the retailer. Can you calculate that? Remember, we have discussed this in the video of profit and loss. The very first introduction video itself, we have discussed that the selling price of the manufacturer, in this case, selling price of the manufacturer will be equal to the cost price of the retailer. In a chain transaction, selling price of A becomes the cost price of B. Selling price of B becomes the cost price of C. Like for example here, the retailer has sold the product for 139.5 rupees, which means the customer has bought the product. The cost price for the customer is 139.5 rupees, right? The price at which retailer sells is the price at which the customer buys. Similarly, the price at which the manufacturer sells is the price at which the retailer buys. So by finding out the cost price of the retailer, we will automatically get the selling price of the manufacturer. And the moment we get the selling price of the manufacturer, we can get the profit percentage required here, right? So find out the cost price of the retailer. How do you do? Selling price of the retailer is 139.5. Profit percentage of the retailer is 23%, right? Selling price for retailer 139.5. Profit percentage for retailer is 23. Cost price for retailer is equal to what? See, you know that if the profit is 23%, if the profit is 23%, selling price will be how much? 123%. So 123% is equivalent to 139.5. We have to find out the cost price. Cost price is how much? 100%. 100% is equal to what? Selling price is 123%. Cost price is 100%. Why selling price 123%? Why selling price 120%? Because the profit is 23%. Selling price is 100% plus profit percentage. Now by cross multiplying these values here, you will be able to find out the cost price of the retailer. Do that calculation. See, don't write all the steps. I mean, you don't have to draw this diagram and prove the theory there, right? This is all for your explanation. What you put on paper is, I think it starts from this step onwards, right? All these calculations can be done mentally, right? 100 plus 55% is 155. 10% of 155 is 15.5, which implies selling price is 139.5. These things can be done mentally. Maybe here you have to do some paperwork. So cost price of the retailer will be 100 into 139.5 divided by 123. Now you have to simplify this part. You have to do this calculation properly. So try to do this now. Approximately shall we do? Anyway, he's asked us to find out the profit percentage expressed in the nearest integer. But the challenge is some of the options are close. Like 13%, 15%, 11%, these are close. The difference is only 2% there. So you have to do a very close, precise calculation there. What do we do? 25, 631. Let's say this is approximately 140, right? Let's say 139.5 is approximately 140. Then what happens? Approximately, right? 140. So 100 into 140 by 123. 100 into 140 by 123. Try to do the calculation now. Is there any common factor? No. Yeah, so do an approximate calculation, we'll figure out. So this is like, 25 into 4. 25 into 4 is 100. 25 into 5, 125. Very close to 123, right? So 4 by 5. 4 by 5 of 140. 4/5 of 140. 4/5 of 140 is like 80% of 140, which is 140 minus 20, 112. It comes out to be 112. Approximately, right? Approximately 112. Cost price of the retailer is 112. Okay, so cost price of the retailer is 112, which is nothing but the selling price of the manufacturer. Now understand, cost price for the manufacturer is 100 rupees. Selling price for the manufacturer is 112 rupees. So what is the profit percentage? 12. Profit percentage is 12. But again, like I said, the challenge is, you know that the profit is 12%, approximately 12%. So option 1, option 2 and option 3 are ruled out. We are stuck between option 4 and option 5. Is it 13% or 11%? That needs to be evaluated now. So what do we do? See, understand, will it be more than 112 or less than 112? I think, see, we have assumed the denominator to be 125. Here, when we said 25 into 4 is 100 and 25 into 5 is 125, we assume that the denominator is 125. Assumed denominator is 125. Actual denominator is 123. Actual denominator is less. See, when the denominator is less, value will be more. Yes or no? So if actual denominator is less, actual value is more. Are you able to follow? As the denominator reduces, the value increases. So actual denominator is less. Assumed denominator was 125. Actual denominator is less. If the actual denominator is less, actual value is more. Actual value is more meaning it is more than 112. If it is more than 112, if this is more than 112, answer will be more than 12%. More than 12% here is option 4. 13%. Right? So option 4, 13% is the final answer. It cannot be 11%. It has to be 13%. I mean, if you are not very sure about this calculation, then do a more precise one. I mean, you just can't do anything about it, right? We know that the actual value comes out to be more than 112. So cost price is 100 rupees. Selling price is, let's say, more than 112. Let's assume 13 rupees. Anyway, he has asked us to find out to the nearest integer, right? So let's say 113 rupees. So cost price 100, selling price 113, implies profit is 13%. As simple as that. Now, if I have to really tell you what steps do we need to put on paper here, look at it. This is not needed. What we have done here is not needed. This is only for the sake of explanation, right? All that has been highlighted is not needed. Similarly, this also need not be put on paper, right? MRP is 100 plus 55%, 155. You will not be given extra marks for all these things. These calculations can be done mentally. I think the only step that we need to put on paper is this one. Again, don't write this. Selling price 139.5, profit is 23, cost price is equal to what? No. This box is important. You need to do this calculation. Once you have done this calculation, you know what the answer is. Right? So option 4, 13%.